After all of this now, Baba, just to end it off, from that paradox of having too many options to the role of limits helping create meaning, and to kind of that difference between optimizing and committing, what is one piece of advice that you would give my generation about how to navigate overwhelming choice without becoming paralyzed or perpetually dissatisfied?
Yeah, I think today's young generation should create the idea of self-worth, that you as a human being is the most important person on this planet for yourself. And whatever you choose, the choice you make is very important from that point of view. You shouldn't take it easy. You shouldn't take it as a casual thing, especially when it is a bigger choice, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a career, whether it's a commitment to do certain thing. It's a business or your ideology, your political choice. And knowing your importance, if you would then make the choices and don't go think that, okay, the choice has to be the perfect one, because there is no perfect choice. We humans are not capable of making the best choice. There is no human who can make the best choice. So all choices are relative. One choice is slightly better than other, and maybe another thing will come and this choice will become slightly less better than the other one. So every choice is comparatively best for whatever you know now. So maybe 6 months down the line, another choice would become even better. So don't rely on comparisons too much. Believe in yourself, and whatever choice which is good enough at the time, then commit yourself with it and learn the joy of commitment. So when you commit with things and spend time in creating and shaping your choice into your life, whether it is a career, whether you're working in a particular company and you started making friends and you're trying to love or creating that joy in that, your keenness will create that joy in that work. Because if you would think, okay, well, this is not the best job for me, or I should have done something else, so you would keep changing and you wouldn't. Yeah, so I think committing to things and giving them time, enough time, allows you to make them work for you. And still sometimes things don't work out, and so that's part of life. But if you have given them enough time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then it should work. One just quick example I'll give. There are few times it happened that people have come to me, somebody, and for the same thing. Somebody came to me and said that we are not getting along, me and my partner. And I'm thinking, we are considering divorce. So give us your advice. And I remember all 3 times, four times this happened. I gave the same advice. I said, well, okay, so if you want a divorce, if between you two, you can do that anytime. So why don't you give yourself 1 year? Because the advice, they only came because they already have decided that that's what they want to do, and just having a second opinion from me now. Why don't you give it 1 year and then decide? That can be done in 1 month, or maybe just in the same day. So why don't you give 1 more year? And then if it doesn't work out, then that choice is still there. Leaving is always an option. You can do in a day. But committing to it might bring something after 1 year. So 3 of those 4 marriages were saved. Yes, showing commitment and giving time does help to make the right choice. And giving up too early, sometimes just you feel guilty afterwards.
Thanks so much for that, Baba. So here's what we're left with. More choice isn't always better. At some point, freedom stops being liberating and it can become quite exhausting. The goal isn't to have every option, but to learn how to choose well enough, commit deeply, and to stop comparing your reality to that fantasy that you left behind. Because in the end, a meaningful life is not built by keeping every door open. It's built by having that courage to close most of them, and then loving what stays inside the room that you choose.